How many of you play Call of Duty Warzone? I must confess that I play a lot, maybe a little bit too much. But this game is awesome, and the sound design is quite pretty in it. So when I was thinking about next episode of Sound Design Challenge, I knew that I don't want to do another sci-fi sounds. I mentioned it in Thai Flyby video. And here comes Warzone. YouTube is a great place to meet new people, and they even want to do videos with me. Tyler from Aftertouch Audio does amazing job creating weapon sounds. Perfect guide to do a rifle sound, right? So here we are, Sound Design Challenge number 3. If this is your first time here, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, or I will find you in Verdansk and give you a headshot. This time we are redesigning sound for this clip. With sounds recorded by us, of course. Each of us had to record 10 sounds at home from different rooms. Here's what Tyler came up with.
Can you see it? Can you see it? Good boy.
And here are my sounds. Again, as usual, we exchanged our files and did our jobs. This was the first time I was doing a realistic gunshot, and with sounds that wasn't meant to be a gun, so pain in the ass. But in bigger perspective, this is the fun part. Use what you have and dive into your imagination. I spent days figuring out how to deal with it. I've changed concepts a few times, used different plugins, but finally I did it. Can you see those inactive plugins? This probably can show you my long way to complete this challenge. Of course, you can find a full session deconstruction on my channel, link is in the description and somewhere here too. Let's hear what Tyler did. And now my sounds. And before we hear what Tyler said about this challenge, be sure to go to his channel, link below, subscribe and watch his videos. Especially the one where he talks about making gunshots. Warning, quality content inside. Maybe if you use the comment section below this video, you can convince him to make his deconstruction video too.
I tried taking a similar approach to how I usually design weapon sounds, which I think made this challenge a lot more difficult than it needed to be. Usually when I look at a clip, I can hear the sound that I want to design in my head, and then I go looking for the individual elements in my sound effects library first, and if I'm missing anything, I then go out and record the individual elements that I think I need. This challenge was a little outside my comfort zone, as my philosophy on sound design has always been, if the sample that you're using just isn't working, just use a different sample or go out and record a different sample that might work better. With this challenge, I didn't overly have that option to, so I did try to take a similar approach to what I had normally done, but in this challenge, I think it actually might have hindered my ability to get a more useful sound out of it. This question is actually a little harder to answer, as I resampled a lot. I ended up turning off all the names of all the tracks before I started working, as I just wanted to hear the sounds on their own and not be influenced too much by the names of the tracks. I started by just going through all the sounds, cutting them up, and then applying some gain to get them to an editable level, and then sorting them into individual groups of what I think would work, what samples I think might work, and what samples I think won't work. That way I had a more organized session, as I was limited to the samples that I could use. With all that being said, I think I ended up using everything aside from the wooden samples, because I couldn't just find a particular use for them. I have not actually played Call of Duty Warzone yet, but I have played the new Call of Duty Zombies, and I have been absolutely addicted to it. I personally don't think the sound will be suited for a game like Call of Duty, as it's missing quite a few elements to make it sound like a true gun, but I think it will work in a lot of like indie titles or small budget games. I have to say, I think some of my favorite gun sounds that I've heard to date has to come from Call of Duty World War II. Just every gun in that game just hits you in the chest. It's super satisfying to shoot. I end up referencing a lot of my own gun design on games like this, which I think comparing your own sounds to sounds in like AAA games is one of the best ways to learn how to design really any sound. Try listening to your sound side by side with another weapon from, well, just your favorite game, and see what your sound is missing in both the frequency spectrum and in the individual elements themselves. I think the most difficult part of this redesign was honestly the restrictive nature of not being able to use my sound effects library, or not being able to go out and record my own samples. I felt like my reload sound is not very good, as I didn't really have access to like a lot of mechanical sounds, so I ended up just resampling a lot, trying to get it to sound somewhat mechanical. I personally, I honestly have never really done a challenge like this before, and I think small challenges like this when you're first starting out are really important, as it helps you think creatively with the resources that you have, rather than just being like, oh, I would be good if I just had this bundle, or I would be really good if I just had this microphone. It's like, you don't need a lot of those bells and whistles to make a really good sound. Sometimes a lot of stuff of what you just have around your house. I mean, like I make guns out of kick drums all the time, because it's got a nice low impact and it kind of beats your chest, right? You're really only limited by your creativity.
And that's a wrap. New year, new challenge, new camera angle, and non-sci-fi sound design. At the end, I want to remind you about two things: the Thai Flyby challenge and my Discord channel. The comments section is also yours. Let us know what you think about this challenge and maybe give me some ideas for upcoming videos. Stay safe, until next time.